In part 5 of the series, we looked at how you can enable the Google Search Console, which is all about people searching for you online on Google. But what about when people have actually made it to your site? If you have a search box on the site itself, how do we know what search terms and queries people are using there? In this video, we're going to look at how you can enable and track that information within Google Analytics. In part 5 of this series, we looked at setting up the Google Search Console and linking that to your account. So that gives us the insight into the queries visitors are using when they're searching online on Google, whatever it might be. So we can see that the keywords they've used in their search, which led them to our site. What about when they actually get to the website itself? So here we're looking at my website, and we can see here that on the home page I have a search box. Now what I can do is I can go ahead and I can type out something like Forms Pro and hit enter. Then what we can see is we've got 95 posts that have come back for that specific search term. Now, not only do I have it on the home page, I also have it right here in the navigation on the right. If your website has search functionality on it, which if you're using WordPress, then that has the ability, and most themes have the search box enabled, but you might have search functionality on your website. So what we can do is we can go ahead and set up site search within Google Analytics so that we can actually track the searches that happen on our site specifically as well, which is very helpful to know once people get there, what are they actually searching for. So now that we know that we've got that search on our website, what we need to do is link the search from our site to our Google Analytics account. So if we go into Google Analytics, what we need to do is we need to go to the admin area and go to the view that you want to do this for, and we can click on View Settings. And if we scroll down, we can see here that we've got Site Search Tracking. So by default, that is turned off. We turn it on, and what we need to do is we need to add the query parameter that is used when the search results are displayed. So what I need to do, we can see here that anything that comes after the question mark and before the equals, that is our search parameter. So unless you've done something quirky in WordPress, typically that's going to be an S, and that is going to be the search parameter. For your own site, go ahead, do a search and see what comes up in the URL. But it's basically whatever comes after that question mark and again before the equals. So we've got our query parameter in there. What we can also do is we could, if we had something that we could do a search and then within the search we could kind of drill down further into different categories, we can turn that on as well, but I don't have that functionality, so I'm sticking with that as the parameter. So now what I am going to do is if I go into the behavior area, we can see that we have an option for site search, and I'm going to go ahead and look at the overview. And here we can see that we've got different search terms that have been used when somebody has come to the website. So we can scroll through a little bit further, and what this is showing is within a specific time frame what the percentage are of the visits without a site search compared with the percentage of the visits that somebody actually went and did a site search, like actually typed something into that search box. So you can see the percentage is very low in terms of the number of visitors that actually use the search, but people do use it. So it's definitely beneficial to have set up and connected to Google Analytics. I can also look at the search terms. So now we can see there are actually 113 different search terms. So we can see there's a lot in there. And what this can be useful for is, okay, well, I know that people are searching for Forms Pro related stuff. So we can see there we've got Forms Pro, we've got forms further down, but variables, I can see there, that's searched for a lot. So people are coming there and want to know about variables which are tied to Forms Pro in this instance. But what we can also see is things that I might not necessarily know that someone is searching for, so that somebody thinks that I might have information about. And maybe I do, and that's great, but maybe it's not a subject that I've written on before. So it could be something that I might want to consider that maybe I'll start writing about. So again, down here we can see so much that's tied to Forms Pro, Forms Pro Change Environment, Forms Pro Dashboard, and so on. So again, somebody wants to know about Forms Pro security roles. I don't think I have a blog post specifically about that, so I could go ahead and write something that's related to that because I know that somebody's searched for it. Now, again, the number of people that are using it is going to be a lot lower, but it is certainly something to consider, and definitely link if you do have a site search functionality on your website, then go ahead and link it so you can actually see what terms people are actually searching for.
Hi, I'm Megan Walker. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something from it. If you don't want to miss out on any other content, you can go ahead and click on my face below to subscribe. And if you want to watch the next video, you can do that by clicking over here and go ahead and get started. Thanks again.